Hello, this is John from RunningsShoesGuru.com with the review of the New Balance 860 V5 shoe. This is the 5th edition in the 860 line and is due to come out in spring of 2015. It retails for $115, which for the type of shoe that it is a pretty affordable price. First things first, let's go off with the style of the shoe. I was a huge fan of it. You can see that it does stick out a little bit. You have your bright yellows in the back and a little bit in the middle, and your bright blues, but it's not overwhelmingly so. A big problem that I've seen in the last couple of years with running shoes that have been coming out is that they're very neon, very bright, almost to the point where it looks like you're wearing highlighters on your feet. So New Balance definitely found a good middle ground with that, and kudos to them. Let's go next to the upper part of the shoe. This material you see here is a solid mesh. It's called soft air mesh. You see this in a lot of New Balance shoes. I've never really seen it in any other kind. Most other running shoes that I've ran in will have like an outer material mesh and then a more solid one like this. This was still very breathable and was a fan of it. It does wear kind of strange. You can see that there are some creases in here. So I didn't notice this while I was actually running, but when I was walking around in them, just like the way the material crease felt kind of weird on top of my foot. Not a huge deal, so I'm going to kind of move on from that. Next, you can see in the lacing unit that there is a divide in the very middle, this guy right here. This gives extra arch support. There's basically 2 bands on either side of the shoe. And it divides the lacing unit in 2. Now, New Balance is definitely notorious for being a larger fit in the shoe, just like how Asics is notorious for being on the more narrow side. This might concern some, but the combination of the midfoot lacing unit and the heel in the back locked me in, but still gave me plenty of room in the toe box. I have fairly wide feet, but not so much to the point where I have to get a wider shoe, but this was great, great fit-wise. To the sole of the unit, basically this was where the most updates were made between the V4 and the V5. The best part, my favorite part, was in the heel. You can see right here that it's actually asymmetrical, so it actually curves up a little bit. It's not flat to the ground. You can also see in the middle is T-beam. That is a hard piece of plastic that just gives more arch support. As someone that deals with plantar fasciitis, this was a great touch. It gives you lots of support in the middle of your foot, and it helps you not hurt later on. The foam is just kind of a combination of hard and soft foam, and it helped me it guided my foot very well. Combination of the asymmetrical heel and just the overall guidance of the front of the shoe gave me a very smooth ride. I felt like this was probably the best part of the shoe. Sometimes stability shoes can be too much in the heel or push you too forward. You can either have a shoe like a Kayano, which all you're doing is heel striking, or you can have another shoe that's on the lighter side, sort of like a Ravenna, or maybe on the little lighter side, where it's pushing you forward to the point where you can do some damage to your calves. The asymmetrical heel and just the overall way that the sole was designed gives me an effortless ride. I never felt like I was using one part of my foot. My foot just kind of rolled off. I thought this was a great, great touch. As far as runs on the faster side, I was able to do them, but it took me a while to get up that speed. It took me a while to just accelerate. It's definitely more of a workhorse shoe. It's a shoe that you're going to want to put volume on, and just kind of work on getting that done. I do have some concerns with the way the upper kind of wore. Like I was saying before, the mesh feels kind of weird. I think this is just kind of cosmetic, but because of the lacing unit, because of the arch support, it divides it in 2, so you have to give a little bit extra stitching here. When I was finished testing them, the stitching was starting to come up a little bit. You can kind of see in the video where it is starting to ride up a little bit, and you know, that is definitely a concern of mine. So far, just cosmetic though, not a huge deal. One thing I did notice though was that in the tongue is actually humongous. I took the laces off one of the other shoes just to show you. You can see that it's very, very large. For as large of a tongue that it is, it's not bound together by many stitches. So you can see this right here, that doesn't have many. And after me testing it, the stitches are already starting to come loose a little bit. Again, this is just kind of cosmetic issues, and I'm not too concerned about it. Overall, it's a great shoe. I would definitely recommend it. And they're on the heavier side, so if you're not a fan of heavy shoes, give it a chance. The construction of the sole, which is the best part, gives you a really smooth ride, and it doesn't sacrifice support. And I feel like that's a hard balance to obtain, especially with stability shoes. So overall, great shoe. Thanks.